to all the Web3 enthusiasts out there. This is Max speaking, and this is a new episode of Synopsis Talks. Today, I'm discussing decentralized storage and a lot of other interesting things with Rebecca Simmonds, the managing executive of Walrus Foundation. Hello, Rebecca. How are you today?
Hey, Max. I'm very well. Thank you very much for having me.
Always a pleasure. I have a bunch of questions prepared for today. As I said, we'll be discussing decentralized storage, its advantages compared to traditional versions of it. But to begin with and to warm up a little bit, let's start with some introduction. Could you please introduce yourself and your background and tell us what made your gravitate towards the crypto and Web3 sector?
Sure. So as you said, I'm the managing executive of the Walrus Foundation, and the foundation exists to support builders, community members, entrepreneurs who want to use the Walrus storage solution software. And we do that through everything from RFPs, hackathons, community events, Discord, X, just the regular things. I'm quite new to the role. I joined in February, which was about a month or so before we launched mainnet. And so it's been fantastic to work with the Walrus, build the Walrus team, work with Sui, work with Mistin Labs. Before that, I'd been part of the founding team of Vega Protocol. So that was launched in 2018. We launched that with a group of people that had all worked together in Web2 for quite a long time, building digital products and services for other people. So everything through mobile, right at the beginning, websites, mobile, then into user experience and product and service design, and then into digital transformation. But we had all been super keen on getting into Web3. And so then we decided to start Vega Protocol, and that is an infrastructure play. And that was very much a mission-driven project. We believed that if Web3 was going to work, it needed to bring over traditional finance. And in order to do that, you needed to provide as good an experience as they had in Web2 with all the benefits of Web3. So it was an ambitious infrastructure play. And when I started speaking to people about taking this role at Walrus, it's the same mission-driven approach that I really like. I like working in infrastructure. I'm very happy to dedicate the rest of my working life to trying to make Web3 a really serious, viable alternative to Web2. Maybe that's a result of having worked in Web2 for a very long time.
Maybe. Thank you. A great intro, and I wish everyone was so much mission driven as you are, and that would for sure make the world a better place. Awesome. And let's get closer to Walrus. Actually, could you please add more details and explain to our viewers what it actually is and how it works?
Okay, so we talk about Walrus being a global data layer for Web3. So for developers needing decentralized infrastructure and services, which include storing the data availability, the programmability of it, which is because it is native to Sui and a Web3 product. And then the last piece of that equation is access control, which comes in the form of Seal, which you may have heard about. It's our next launch, which is happening very soon. It's in testnet at the moment.
Awesome. So announcements is actually one of the most expected things we come here for this podcast.
Right.
And,
yeah.
We hope to know more details about it soon. And let's dive deeper a little bit into maybe some technical part of the story. So could you please tell us why is Walrus important and how does it integrate with the rest of the Sui tech stack?
Okay, so if we think of the Sui operating system as a sort of next gen Web3 application, Walrus is the hard drive, but it is sort of is smarter, it's programmable, and it is all about being designed for user ownership. So Sui is the coordination layer, and Walrus is the data layer that sits on top of it. This is where you can store very large files, which are currently really being stored in centralized places like AWS. So Walrus allows for the full decentralized story to happen. And it is native to Sui, so it works very beautifully with that. But it can also be used with any L1, any L2, any Web2 project that needs all of those characteristics that Web3 brings.
Awesome. And if we highlight, summarize the benefits and the advantages, could you please tell us what benefits does decentralized storage have over centralized solutions?
So the benefit, so firstly, it isn't for everybody. Not every use case in the world would need decentralized storage. It's people that really care about security. So if you want to be able to prove that what has been uploaded has not been tampered or changed, decentralized is the best way to go. So if you think about, a ChatGPT type model, when you ask a question, you want to be able to verify that the sources that model is using are correct and they have not been doctored. So let's say it references an article from, I don't know, the New York Times. You want to be convinced that it was published in the New York Times, it was uploaded by the person that said it uploaded it, that it has not been changed since it was uploaded. And this is for really serious things like elections. You want to make sure, as we rely more and more on things like ChatGPT or agents, it's going to become very important that we really can trust the data that sits behind these, and that's what Walrus would do. So it makes it so it's provenance, like what it says it does, it is actually doing. It is security because it is decentralized. Over 2/3 of the nodes can go down, and you can still retrieve 100% of your data. And it is verifiable, so you can 100% know that the data that was put up there is the data that was intended to be put up there and not being used for any other nefarious purposes.
Awesome. So I remember the time back in 2018 when everyone was trying to implement some decentralization, blockchain into their companies, even though it was needed. And it's great to hear that you have this kind of realistic approach, understanding that not literally everyone needs this decentralization. Awesome.
No, exactly. So if you are organizing to meet your friends at the cinema, this is probably not data you care about particularly. So it's not going to be on Walrus. That's okay. That data can go. Walrus is for data that you really, really care about, that needs all of these properties. And most importantly, actually, I didn't mention is it is programmable. So because it is a blockchain system, you can write a smart contract to control the way that each piece of data acts, and it will act exactly as you want it to act. And with Seal coming, so what Seal is it's a secure access level. Again, it can work on any L1 or L2, but native to Sui and Walrus. And that gives every data owner the ability to grant access to that data to another party. So it could be, I could say, Max, you can listen to this song I wrote every Monday morning between 10 and 10:30 if I wanted to. Or I could say, decentralized Spotify could actually have access to that song if they pay me 10 cents every time they play it. So all of a sudden, I have a lot more control over my data. People who can see it. I can see who's seen it. I can see the analytics. I can make money from it, and it's all transparent and in my control. So that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, sure. And guys, for all the important data, please address to Walrus. And by the way, don't underestimate the importance of the data. Of course, going to the cinema and organizing with friends is, yeah, it's something not so
well,
much.
you could, if it was really important to you, Max, you could store that on Walrus.
Yeah,
A very nice site called Tusky would do that for you very beautifully.
Awesome, awesome. And yeah, besides what has already been said, could you please tell us if there are some other ways organizations are already using Walrus?
Could you repeat that, Max? You cut out.
Oh, sorry. So besides what has already been discussed, could you please tell us what are some of the other ways organizations are already using Walrus?
Yeah. So the people, the businesses that we are finding that really like Walrus are AI. So we sort of talked about the ChatGPT model. It is that security. So I think last week we announced flock.io, which is I think the first ever decentralized AI training platform. And they are using Walrus for all their storage, and they'll be using Seal for actually their access control. Swarm Network is also AI. It's verifiable AI rollups, and they are using Walrus for hosting and decentralized training and inference. Media likes us a lot. Again, I guess for the New York Times type example. So Decrypt, who everybody will know, they store all of their articles and content on Walrus. That at the moment they're just using it for storage, but what it also means is that they're preventing link rot. So this data will always be available, and they can ensure that you can get to it. Unchained, similar to Decrypt, all of their data is on Walrus. And for those people, storage of the data is step one of what might become a kind of much longer journey. We're also finding a lot of NFT creators, artists, content creators are using Walrus to store exactly for the reason of that control and that programmability, and also the guarantee that an NFT, for example, will actually be there and not be a broken link, which I think we've all experienced. Kind of like content, but entertainment and gaming. So Pudgy Penguins was a big partner of ours. They're storing a lot of data, and that is kind of the persistent and cross-platform access to all of their assets. And then Claynosaurus was an official mainnet launch partner. So all the dinosaurs are now fully decentralized, stored on Walrus. We're getting a lot of L1s and L2s using Walrus as their data layer as well. So Open Gradient has just announced that, and Plume, and we actually have some more coming in the next few weeks. So I guess from the kind of enterprise level, like, this is not theory. These people are household names, and they have been using either other decentralized storage, or they've been using centralized storage, and they are actually moving to Walrus. They have moved to Walrus because it can do things that other providers have not been able to do. So that's nice. But then we've got this whole fantastic group of builders who are building new things on Walrus. So we had a great hackathon called Overflow, and I was in Athens this week, and I met all the people that built on the decentralized storage thread, and they were absolutely fantastic. Like, we've got several kind of decentralized DocuSigns, some that are live now and some which are coming down the pipeline. We have WallPress, which is you can actually use now, which is like a WordPress but fully decentralized. There's Sui Mail, which is a decentralized mail app, which is a pay to send, so it cuts down a lot of spam. It pays you for attention. What else? We've got Walrus, which is a decentralized graph database. So we've got a lot of very cool things, some which are new and can only happen on Web3, and some which are kind of Web2 versions, but now fully decentralized. So there is a lot of activity. We have a huge backlog of announcements that we want to make, and we're just, we're trying not to overwhelm the world by talking about them.
Wow, fantastic. So, so many examples, and I think this is the best metrics of
yeah.
Like successfully doing your job, actually.
doing let's hope so. But yes, I mean, there's lots to do. We're very new. It's but we are live. People are storing data. They're using us. They're using the programmability of it, which is the thing we really care. I mean, decentralized storage is great, but the programmability aspect of it is the very new exciting thing. And we expect that that will really be unleashed when Seal goes live, because quite rightly so, people and businesses, they want privacy for certain things. They deserve privacy for certain things, and Seal is what actually gives it to them. So we've got people who are building on the testnet. That's quite exciting. We've got people we're speaking to about what they're going to build after mainnet is live. And so I think we're going to see some kind of pretty exciting, pretty new use cases. And as the foundation, we are very, very motivated to support those people and make their businesses successful, because it's what we've all been working towards.
Yeah, that's great. That's great to hear. And actually, we organically came up to discussing some next steps, some short and mid-term goals. So I have a few questions about this.
Okay.
So the first one is about the team and building mainly. So could you please tell us what are the next steps for Walrus, and how will the team continue to build out the platform in the near term?
Okay. So, well, first of all, I would like to say we have not been resting on our laurels since we launched at the end of March. We've actually launched 4 new initiatives since we launched, and we've launched Quilt, which is about cheap storage for all sorts of files. So originally Walrus really specialized in large files. Quilt is a way of making it very, very affordable to store smaller files, and that was a direct response from what we were seeing from users. We've launched Upload Relay, which is all about faster and more reliable uploads. We've launched Nautilus, which is about verifiable off-chain compute. We've launched Walrus Sites, which allows everybody to launch a decentralized front end. Really important, because you can guarantee that the front end that you've gone to is the front end that you think it is. A lot of hacks you've seen recently have been based on front end takeovers. So that helps with that. The next thing, or Seal is the next big thing. We're really looking forward to that, but we've spoken about that quite a lot. And then really it is about the developer experience and developer tooling. Walrus as the base infrastructure works really, really well. We've got some tooling, so like Tusky, which I mentioned earlier, is a very big partner. That works a bit like a kind of Dropbox. Anybody can go and upload content, and a lot of our partners have been using them. But there will also be a lot of other developer tooling, cross-chain support, migration tooling, decentralized publishing, partnerships like that are vertical specific. So you can see that if you are a content creator or an NFT creator, new front ends, new tools to make it easier to categorize and store your NFTs are very useful. So that is largely what we are working on, and we're working with the community on this as well through RFPs, hackathons, sort of grants, and our own teams at Mist and Walrus building them.
Well, so many things happening at the same time, and
It's a lot.
so many things, so many big things are yet to come. So we'll be for sure like tracking your path and looking forward to actually trying all these new features and new products. And actually, we came up to the final part of our interview. So, and this is the traditional one, and I would like to ask you go ahead and address directly to our audience with some piece of advice, maybe some call to action, maybe financial advice. Kidding. And
I will never give financial advice. I'd be terrible at it. I
so,
think
yeah,
so.
please go ahead.
Walrus decentralized storage is actually a lot less complicated than layer ones. It's very easy for people to go and try, and that's what I would actually like people to do. I would like people to go to Tusky, or actually what I have just done earlier today, Polymedia Profile, and actually just upload a bit of data to Walrus, and you will see how fast and easy it is. You'll use a slush wallet. It will be cheap and it will be there forever. And then you will have done it, and you will have broken down a barrier and gone like, I can store everything on Walrus.
Awesome. Sounds really encouraging. And I believe that the main thing is to convince people that trying something new, what is decentralized, what is connected with Web3 is not so complicated, is the main thing to overcome. And yes, it sounds extremely logical because we live in a data-driven world. So guys, don't hesitate to go try. So I will do. And yeah, so we came up to the end of today's podcast. It was so easy going, so the time just flew by. Thank you very much, Rebecca, for joining in today.
And Max, thanks very much for having me. I really enjoyed that.
Well, a pleasure to hear, and yeah, a little bit of my chance to address to the audience. So it's very hard for me personally to believe, and I believe that it will be the same for the majority of our viewers. But in the beginning of our discussion today, before the recording, Rebecca mentioned that it's her first podcast. And once again, very hard to believe because it's so easygoing, so everything is so fluently put in order. So let's just show your support, guys. Thumbs up to see Rebecca in more episodes. As you might have seen, decentralized storage is a big thing and a way more interesting as it might seem on the first surface. So this is my call to action today, and for now, that's it. Thanks for everyone for staying till the end. Thank you once again, Rebecca, for joining in. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye, mate.